Since 1954, Terrebonne General has been a beacon of health and hope in our community. As we mark 7 decades of dedication to your well-being, Terrebonne General Health System remains committed to advancing healthcare, improving lives, and expanding our services to meet your evolving needs. In celebrating our past, we look forward to a future filled with promise and progress. Your health is our legacy. To discover more, visit tghealthsystem.com.
Bayou Times Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System's Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
By Brandon Brown, Hall of Famer at Terrebonne High School. Of course, Brandon was inducted into the Bayou Region Athletic Hall of Fame this past year. Had a good year with Terrebonne, but in getting to talk to you a little bit during that process of the Hall of Fame, I know that Denham spring game, second round of the playoffs, sticks with you because you're kind of analyzing the game and such. Kind of let it go yet?
No, not at all. I mean, it still stings that we had a great setup with, Denham Springs' top 2 players being released from the team for disciplinary issues. And, we were 100% full force, and we was kind of lax. And man, Denham Springs head coach did a wonderful, wonderful game and had them boys prepared with their energy and their game plan. It just overwhelmed us. So back to the drawing board this season, and hopefully get those guys right for the moment again. If we can get there, and hopefully go over that hump.
Talk a little bit about the process of what's been going on so far over the summer and all the way through the fall as you start your jamborees next week.
I'm really a hard coach to please, but in the summertime, I really thought that we just had mid-season varsity type defense. And I was so impressed by that. We kind of tapered down a little bit in the preseason, but I was so impressed with the defensive effort with less practice time, and it was unbelievable. So that gives me great hope that we can reach that peak again of playing elite defense. Practice has been going well. We were without a lot of our main guys, but like other coaches have been saying, a lot of opportunities for the kids. Into the bench JV kids, into the bench varsity kids to get some maximum playing time.
I know you're excited about football, and they're going to be in the playoffs. Any of those kids you're waiting on?
Oh, we got a ton of them. We got about 18 to 20 kids that's playing.
So does that affect your scheduling? Did you know that and maybe push some things back a little bit?
I'm hard on those kids, and I'm hard on myself because every year I tell myself to wait. But I'm just so competitive when those coaches call. I'm like, I can only have this date. I'm like, okay, let's play, And I should have waited. And we start off on November 18th, and I know that the football team is not going to be done by then because we have a really good team, and I expect those boys to make a great run. And again, if we got to step through adversity with waiting on them, because we do have a lot of core guys on the football team. But again, I know they're going to come back super aggressive, and they are a talented bunch that they can just plug right in and just play.
But don't you think that's going to develop a little bit of depth too? Getting some of those other kids?
One of the key things is depth, that we have a lot of it. Right now, we're kind of the same type of player, so with having the score a lot, we don't have that, but we do have a lot of just guys that can just go out and play. But, if we need a bucket, that might be one of our Achilles heels that I don't know who I'm going to go to just yet. That hasn't, nobody really came forth yet. But once we get everybody together, it's going to reveal itself.
Do you replace a Colin Billiard and a Verdant, those guys, or do you just you become different? How does that work?
It's hard replacing Colin Billiard with his just talent and his nose for the ball. But again, we got some really, really young guys who are exciting that can get to that level or maybe exceed him. But again, if you got Renard Smith, he is a veteran player that he can give us scoring and defensive ability. So he's there, but once he hasn't been in that role as a go-to guy where I call plays for him and didn't have that expectation of scoring yet. But he should be okay.
Are you a goals-orientated guy? Like, for example, you go to the second round. Is it okay? We gotta bust that plateau. We got to move on past that. How does it work for you?
No, I'm a day-to-day guy. I'm a day-to-day guy that when that consistency happens, I applaud it. Because when we are like a roller coaster, how we've been over the last couple of years, even though we had 21 wins my first year, 22 wins last year, that with the wins is consistency, but I'll play. We give up too many easy things without inconsistent play. Because if you watch us play one game, we look like one of the top teams in the state. And then you see us play 2 days later, and we look like a rebuilding team. So that falls on me that I gotta get them consistent. I gotta get them mentally prepared to withstand a whole season.
I'm going to ask you this last question, and I'm also going to pose it to Cassidy when she comes up. Obviously, y'all two have had very good collegiate careers. So there's a talent level you have. Is it hard sometimes when you're fooling with the kids? Is it a patience thing? Is it easy to pass down the technique and fundamental you have that comes to you easily, where it might be a little bit more of a process with them?
It's a good question. I can't speak for Cassidy. For me, I tend to get a little bit more frustrated, with things like that, because for me, in my mind, and I know it's wrong, I think it's easy. And when you explain to the kids, and they don't pick it up right away. So it's hard to separate that player and the coach aspect, because I know the kids walking around campus, I know they want to be confident. Oh, I'm the best at this, I'm the best at that. When you present something that I think is easy to them and they find it challenging, I might get a little bit frustrated with them, that they have to be a little bit more humble with themselves and be more grounded and have a more foundational skill that they can lean on every time, not just saying, I can do this, I can do that.
Right.
You got to be able to do it consistently.
Got to work at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks so much. We're wishing you guys the best this season.
I appreciate it.
All right.
So the best.
I actually introduced a little bit earlier Brandon Brown as the Hall of Famer. I could certainly introduce this young lady as a Hall of Famer too. Cassidy Barrios is here with us, head coach of Terrebonne's girls program. Listen, last year it was a fact-finding mission. There's things along the way, right, that you learn. But y'all got better and better during the year. Talk a little bit about going from last year to this year, where your girls were in a learning phase. You won 7 games, and what you think's happening right now with the program.
I think they're really building off how we ended last year. I was just talking about, we ended our last game beating a playoff team. And I think that they really brought that into this year, into the summer league, and into what we're doing now. They're really excited to play. They keep saying, "Can we play now? Can we play now?" So they're really eager to learn, and they're really working hard. Just got our volleyball girls back on Monday. Had 5 of them, so they're really learning to play well together, all together, and have everybody back. And they're excited, which I'm excited for them.
Is it a situation where you talked about this to me last year, that there was some young girls. They were actually at Houma Junior High. Is it a matter of just being more experienced? I don't know, some of the girls growing up a little bit?
Oh yes, definitely. Definitely with the freshmen that are coming in this year, they've been playing basketball all their life. So they're young, but they're experienced. And then to factor into our upperclassmen that we have, I got a couple newcomers, and then with those freshmen, and then our returners with Amaje Clark at the 5. It's really gelling together. They're really learning to play well together. And we're excited.
Are you the kind of coach that if they're a freshman and they can play, they're playing?
Oh, 100%. I tell them everybody on the team is a Terrebonne Lady Tiger. You could be a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, but at this point, you're a basketball player. It doesn't matter what you are.
How about the learning curve for you as a coach? Do you sit back now and go, I kind of wish I knew these things a year ago?
I think it's all a learning curve. I think I'm more accustomed to how the girls are. It's a different generation coming from college to high school. So I think it was a big learning curve for me, but I feel more comfortable in my position, and I think the girls respect me and are eager to learn from me, which helps my job. That's what it is.
What are y'all going to be good at? Talk about those strengths that Lady Tigers are going to have this year?
We've been really honing down on our defense. It's not new as I run a matchup zone, which is difficult to learn. But it really throws offenses off. It's hard to prepare for a matchup zone because we could switch up our scenarios every game. So they're really buying into that aspect. And we're a fast group, a guard-heavy group. So I tell them, if you get the steal in the matchup, take off. So that's where we're going to try and hold a lot of our points at.
What is that thing you're sort of still trying to overcome related to getting it through to the girls? You know, I sat here with Brandon and talked to him. You know, you were such a prolific collegiate player, and some things may have come a little natural. I mean, I know you're a hard worker, but is that frustrating to you sometimes when you're working with the girls?
Not necessarily, because I don't expect people to play a certain way. I really look at what they're capable of doing and let them use that to their best of ability. When I tell them, I just want them to work hard. Like, give the little things, give effort, give it energy, and that could carry you a long way, whether you could make a three-pointer or not. The little things will take them.
Are you goal-orientated?
I am. I set goals for them every game. We use kills, 3 kills in a row. 3 stops in a row is a kill, so I want so many kills a game, less than this many turnovers. And it gives them something to look forward to and to keep them under certain stuff.
Do you have a goal related to wins in a season? I know that's kind of...
No, not necessarily. We have little goals of just doing the little things, and then that will ultimately, transpire into the wins. Obviously, we want to make the playoffs. However, wins that we will make to make the playoffs. But yeah, not necessarily a goal on how many wins this year.
And you are in the Parish Jamboree next week, right? Is that at South Terrebonne?
At South Terrebonne.
And your opponent will be?
We play HL and CCA.
Very good. Very good. We wish you the best of luck this upcoming season.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bourke, know your rights.